Welcome everyone. In today's video, I'll show you how I started the construction of the Old West Hotel. First, I would like to thank Ara from Bentley House Minis and Penny from Little by Little Dollhouse Minis. They both had very helpful videos to get me started on knowing how to build my own structures. I will put a link to some of their helpful videos in my description. I started off by making a sketch of how I wanted the Old West Hotel to look from the front and the side and the back. After the sketch, then I'm using graph paper to draw out a floor plan. For me, 1 square of the graph paper represents a ½ inch. So here is the floor plan. There's going to be a main lobby and a barber shop off to the side of that. And then attached with the barber shop is kind of like a little bath, a hot bathhouse type situation. And then of course the porch on the front. And I will put all of the dimensions in the description in case you want to follow along yourself. I know I've had some viewers that were wondering how I built the general store because I started my channel right after I constructed it. And I think this would be a good one to start with, maybe even if you just did 1 floor. I feel like this one would be most like a dollhouse in case you didn't want to build a hotel, but you wanted to build a dollhouse. Instead of maybe having the entrance come from the end, the short end over here, you could plan your entrance to be from this long back side. The doors will be fake. They're not going to be doors that operate. And then you'll be able to see into the room from this long side over here. This will be open. Well, I'll have panels and you can pull the panels down and look inside the room. This long side over here is not going to have any windows because this structure is going to have another structure that will sit next to it, and I want them to be able to butt right up next to each other and be as close as they can. So there's not going to be anything on this side. It's just going to be a flat wall. So everything will be from this side. And I'm making the panels that can pull down like I did on the general store. My Western town was inspired by a visit I took last year to Tinkertown in Sandia Park, New Mexico. I just fell in love with that place. Okay, so here is what I picture the front to look like. Gonna have a little porch front, of course, like the general store. Hopefully I can achieve these decorative posts. And then there's going to be a little balcony, and I know this looks like a bat wing, but I was trying to show that it's going to be corrugated metal roof for the awning. On the very back, the short end back, I want to have a staircase. The one in Sandia Park, it has the staircase on the back of the building, and I believe his goes, there's a little building that's built out from the 2nd floor, and it's going up to that. I really like that, and I hope to achieve something like that, but I may have to just put the stairs. I've never made stairs before or railings, and I might just have a landing and a fake door right on the back. But I really want to add that part because when you look at a lot of pictures of Old West buildings, they usually had staircases on the outside too, and I think it just adds a lot of character. And then on my side view, when you pull the panels away, this first room, the downstairs is the lobby. The upstairs is just the railing, and it's open so that you can see down into the lobby. It makes it feel like a big grand room. There will be a barber shop, the bath, of course, that I mentioned. Then there's going to be the hotel room, and I'm only going to have 1 hotel room that you can see, but I'm going to create an illusion to imply that maybe there is another room. I'll have to see how that looks or works out when we get to that point. Here I'm using an Amazon box to construct a small-scale model of the hotel. This idea is from Ara, and it's very helpful to help you see things you may need to change before you start constructing the full-size project. This was the model for the general store. Sorry, it's kind of dusty. It's been sitting up on the shelf ever since. And here, in comparison to the general store, this was 13 inches tall. The Old West Hotel is going to be 21.5 inches tall, but this is the two of them together in comparison. And this one, it's going to be 10 inches wide, so it will actually be the same width as the general store, but I was trying to make it be maybe an inch thin, an inch narrower, because I'm going to have that other structure that's going to butt right up next to it, and I was trying not to make it be so big, but I think that the hotel, it's the hotel, so it needs to be grand. I believe that it would be probably the same width as the general store, at least. So this might look narrower right now, but it's actually they're going to be the same width. Here is that lobby area I was describing. This is actually going to be railing. It won't be solid, but I put that there to kind of give an idea. I don't know if you can see in the very back here, but there's two doors. There are two doors back here. That one in the back is going to be the only one that they're both not going to open. I don't see any reason to make them be opening doors, because I will probably never open them. So I hope that will make it look like there's two rooms right side by side. And then there's going to be a door, and I didn't put anything to mark it, but there's going to be a door right here in the back, because I want it to look like, and I don't have it on the model here, but I want it to look like down here, there's going to be like 2 or 3 steps that go up into a doorway, or there won't be a doorway, it'll be a door. And that way it'll look like maybe that takes you to a staircase that you can't see, that brings you out onto this landing. And so here's the lobby, the big grand lobby. And here is, let me take this away for a minute. The pass-through between the lobby and the barber shop at Tinkertown has kind of a foggy etched glass. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to make this. This sounds very exciting to me. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. I've never done anything like that, but I'm very excited for that part. This is going to be the barber shop, and this is the little hot bath area. So the tub will be sitting right in this little area. And then here's those stairs that will be on the back, and this might be a little structure, like a little built on to the second floor, but if not, it'll be a landing. Either way, I'm going to have these stairs in the back because I think it adds a lot of character. In this video, I will just be building this structure. I'm not going to start the second floor until I come to that part. So first I'm just going to build this, and I'm just going to work room by room, or hopefully room by room, but I don't know, who knows, whenever, if you're inspired or not. Here's the second floor, and this will be the room. There is a fake wall right here, and I should have left it open, but there's like a little compartment in this area that's open, and I did that for 2 reasons. One, I didn't want the room to be so deep. It's just one hotel room, and I also kind of wanted it to create that illusion that there was that second room. And also, this is probably going to have a lot of lights and a lot of cords, and so I'm hoping that a lot of that can hide in there, and maybe somehow the switches can be over here. I don't know if they could be back. I guess they could be over here too, but I want this to stay where the other building can come flush up next to it. Those switches, the lights, was fun and not as hard as I thought, but what's hard to me was trying to hide the switch or put the switch in such a way where it's easy to turn on and off. Make it where I can access to change the batteries if they need to be changed. And then this is going to be the balcony and the porch. And when that second structure comes, I'm going to build it where it's just a little bit higher, and it'll look like if you were walking down this sidewalk, this porch, you're going to have to take a step up to go to the other one. I think that will kind of add a little bit of character too. So now I guess I'm ready to start cutting out some foam board. This foam board had a really shiny surface, so I'm lightly sanding it after I've cut all my pieces before I glue them together. Penny from Room by Room Minis had a great idea. When you're tracing out your floor onto your base, cut a little strip the thickness of your wall to trace, and that way you wouldn't have to measure as much. Here I am starting the construction of my foundation and base. If you would like to see more in depth how I go about that, check out my foundation and terrain video. When I'm cutting these inside support strips, I do a lot of eyeballing. Sometimes I'm lucky and they can just push in and I don't have to apply any glue. And then sometimes at other times, I might have cut it a little short and I had to add some glue. Either way works, so don't worry about that. When I feel like I have enough supports, I'll turn it over and I'll give it a good press and see if I feel any weak spots anywhere that may need some more. And usually I don't. I cut out all of my wall sections and I go ahead and cut away the door and the window openings as well. I'm applying glue to all of the surfaces of my foundation so that I can glue it down to the base. I'm matching it up with all of my marks for the placement of the foundation. And I'm leaving a little bit on 3 sides for some terrain, but this side right here, I'm leaving it flush because there's going to be another building at some point that will butt up next to it. And there's a lot of glue that oozes out. Just make sure you wipe it away and then place some heavy things on top and let it dry. And here is the base and the foundation already glued together and glued to each other. I have cut the floor pieces out, and this is what I will be gluing my floor planks to. I have all of the rooms downstairs cut out and ready for me to put the floor planks on them. And here are all of my interior wall sections. I've got the front, the wall that divides the lobby and the barber shop, and then the wall between the barber shop and the hot bath, and then the back door. And then this is the back wall. I know it's not very exciting right now at this point, but I didn't get to show this with the general store, and I know a lot of my viewers have asked me about the construction. Be sure to check back next week so that I can show you how I made the windows, and I made them the very same way for the general store. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.